Saphala Ekadashi. Yudhishthira Maharaja said, O Shri Krishna, what is the name of that Ekadashi that occurs during the dark fortnight of the months of Pausa, like December, January? How is it observed and which deity is to be worshipped on that day? Please narrate these details to me fully so that I may understand, O Janardana. The Supreme Personality of God, Shri Krishna, then replied, O best of kings, because you desire to hear, I shall fully describe to you the glories of the Pausa Krishna Ekadashi. I do not become as pleased by sacrifice or charity as I do by my devotees' observance of a full fast of Ekadashi. To the best of one's ability, therefore one should fast on Ekadashi, the day of Lord Hari. O Yudhishthira, I urge you to hear with undivided intelligence the glories of Pausha Krishna Ekadashi, which falls on Dvadashi. As I explained previously, one should not different among the many Ekadashis. O King, the benefit humanity at large, I shall now describe to you the process of observing Pausha Krishna Ekadashi. Pausha Krishna Ekadashi is also known as Saphala Ekadashi. On this sacred day, one should worship Lord Narayana, for he is its ruling deity. One should do so by follow the previously described method of fasting. Just as among snakes, Sheshanaga is the best, and among birds, Garuda is the best. Among sacrifices, the Ashvamedha Jaina is the best. Among rivers, Mother Ganga is the best. Among gods, Lord Vishnu is the best. And among two-legged beings, the Brahmanas are the best. So among all fasting days, Ekadashi is by far the best. O foremost of kings who took your birth in the Bharata dynasty, whoever strictly observes Ekadashi becomes very dear to me, and indeed, worshipable by me in every way. Now listen as I describe the process for observing Saphala Ekadashi. On Saphala Ekadashi, my devotee should worship me by offering me fresh fruits according to time, place, and circumstance, and by meditating on me as the auspicious Supreme Personality of God. He should offer me jambira fruit, pomegranate, betel, coconut, guava, varieties of nuts, cloves, mangoes, and different kinds of aromatic spices. He should also offer me incense and bright ghee lamps, for such an offering of lamps on Saphala Ekadashi is especially glorious. The devotee should try to stay awake all night. Now please hear with undivided attention as I tell you how much merit one gets if he fasts and remains awake through the entire night singing and chanting the glories of Narayana. O best of kings, there is no sacrifice or pilgrimage that yields merit that is equal to or better than the merit one gains by fasting on this Saphala Ekadashi. Such fasting, particularly if one can remain awake and alert the entire night long, bestows the same merit upon the faithful devotee as the performance of austerity for 5,000 earthly years. O Lion among kings, please hear the glorious history of this Ekadashi. Once there was a city called Champavati, which was ruled by saintly King Mahismata. He had 4 sons, the eldest of whom, Lumpaka, always engaged in very sinful activities. Illicit sex with the wife of others, gambling, and continual association with known prostitutes. His evil deeds gradually reduced the wealth of his father, King Mahismata. Lumpaka also became very critical on the demigods and the Brahmanas, and every day he would go out of his way to blaspheme the Vaishnavas. At last, King Mahismata, condition of his son, exiled him to the forest. Out of fear of the king, even compassionate relatives did not come to Lumpaka's defense. So angry was the king, and so sinful was this Lumpaka. Bewildered in his exile, Lumpaka thought to himself, "My father has sent me away, and even my kinsmen do not raise any objection. What should I do now?" He schemed sinfully and thought, "I shall sneak back to the city under cover of darkness and plunder its wealth. During the day I shall stay in the forest, and at night I'll return to the city." So thinking, Lumpaka entered the dark forest. He killed many animals by day, and by night he stole valuable items from the city. The city dwellers approached him several times, but out of fear of the king, they left him alone. They thought to themselves that if it must have been the sins of his previous birth that had made him lose his royal facilities and act so sinfully. Thought a meat-eater, Lumpaka would also eat fruits every day. He resided under an old banyan tree that happened to be very dear to Lord Vasudeva. Indeed, many worshipped it as a demigod of all the trees in the forest. In due course of time, while Lumpaka was doing so many sinful and condemnable activities, the Saphala Ekadashi arrived. On the eve of the Ekādaśī, Dashami, Lumpaka had to pass the entire night without sleep because the severe cold and his scanty bedclothes. The cold not only robbed him of all peace, but also almost killed him. By the time the sun rose, his teeth chattering, and he almost comatose, and during the morning of that day, Ekadashi, he could not awaken from his stupor. When midday of the Saphala Ekadashi arrived, the sinful Lumpaka finally came to and managed to rise up from his place under the banyan tree. But with every step he took, he stumbled to the ground. Like a lame man, he walked slowly and hesitantly, suffering greatly from hunger and thirst in the midst of the jungle. So weak was Lumpaka that he could not kill even a single animal that day. Instead, he was reduced to collecting whatever fruits had fallen to the ground. By the time he returned to the banyan tree, the sun had set. Placing the fruits on the ground next to him, Lumpaka began to cry out, "Oh, woe is me! What should I do? Dear father, what is to become of me? Oh, Sri Hari, please be merciful to me and accept these fruits as an offering." Again he was forced to lie awake the whole night without sleep. But in the meantime, the Supreme Personality of God, Madhusudana, had become pleased with Lumpaka's offering of forest fruits, and he accepted them. Lumpaka had unwittingly observed the full Ekadashi fast, and by the merit he reaped on that day he regained his kingdom with no further obstacles. Listen, O Yudhishthira, to what happened to the son of King Mahismata when but a fragment of the merit sprouted up within his heart. As the sun beautiful rose in the sky on the day following Ekadashi, a handsome horse approached Lumpaka and stood next to him. At the same time, a voice suddenly boomed out from the clear blue sky. "This horse is for you, Lumpaka. Mount it and ride swiftly out of this forest to greet your family. O son of King Mahismata, by mercy of Lord Vasudeva and the strength of the merit you acquired by observing Saphala Ekadashi, your kingdom will be returned to you without any further hindrances. Such is the benefit you have gained by fasting on this most auspicious of days. Go now to your father and enjoy your rightful place in the dynasty." Upon hearing these celestial words resounding from above, Lumpaka mounted the horse and rode back to the city of Champavati. By the merit he had acquired by fasting on Saphala Ekadashi, he had become a handsome prince once more and was able to absorb his mind in the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God, Hari. In other words, he had become my pure devotee. Lumpaka offered his father, King Mahismata, his humble obeisances and once more accepted his princely responsibilities. Seeing his son so decorated with Vaishnava ornaments and tila, King Mahismata gave him the kingdom, and Lumpaka ruled unopposed for many, many years. Whenever the Ekadashi came, he worshipped the Supreme Lord with great devotion, and by the mercy of Sri Krishna he obtained a beautiful wife and a fine son. In old age, Lumpaka handed his kingdom over to his son, just as his own father, King Mahismata, and handed it over to him and went to the forest to serve the Supreme Lord with controlled mind and senses. Purified of all material desires, he left his body and returned back to home, back to God, attaining a place near the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. O Yudhishthira, one who approaches me as Lumpaka will become completely free of lamentation and anxiety. Indeed, anyone who properly observes this glorious Saphala Ekadashi, even unknowingly, like Lumpaka, will become famous in this world. He will become perfectly liberated and at death and return to Vaikunta. Of this there is no doubt. Moreover, one who simply hears the glory of Saphala Ekadashi obtains the same merit derived by one who performs a Rajasurya Jaina, and at the very last he goes to heaven in his next birth. Thus ends Vrajavasi narration of the glories of Pausha Krishna Ekadashi or Saphala Ekadashi from the Bhavisya Uttara Purana.